the Sixers game, even though the Sixers got crushed by the Detroit Pistons, a game we all had to witness live. But it was a great time being at the game with you guys, I will have to say. How are we doing?
Yeah,
Good,
we're
good.
doing
Yeah, it was
good.
great seeing you guys hanging out.
Yes, yes.
We need
Yeah,
to do it more
wish the
often.
result was a little bit better. But it was
And
good.
we all had cheesesteaks. At least I did.
I had
I did not.
I had a chicken
I-
cheesesteak.
I had the chicken cheesesteak meat. I didn't have any bread.
Any bread, of course.
No,
Of course.
no bread.
Ooh.
What's wrong with you?
It's a good cheese.
You
Chuck.
don't, eat, you don't eat
Chuck,
bread?
I had. Not really.
You do the
Is it-
Oprah
It's
thing?
crazy, right?
He-
That was hard. That was one of the hardest things I had to give up. Was bread.
You,
And it's one of the
you-
first things I gave up.
Are you on a keto diet?
He lives
No,
a
I
keto
don't-
diet.
I'm not on a keto diet. It's just I
He's-
eat. I could be on a Mediterranean diet. I wouldn't know it, but if someone would have watched what I eat, they'd be like, "Oh, you're on a Mediterranean diet." Kobe says I'm on a keto diet. I have no idea what any of it means. I just eat what I would want to eat and stay away from certain things.
If
Isn't
you're not on the
keto
diet,
is
what
just no
what did
carbs?
you why are you focused on like certain groups of food you're not going to eat?
When Troy was born, my daughter was born. it's a long story, but like one day I looked in the mirror and I didn't like what I saw. So I just decided, like, you know what? I'm gonna stop eating what I've been eating, which is bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for breakfast, maybe some pizza or burger for lunch, or a chicken parm sandwich from Brooklyn that everybody on the trading floor ordered. It's great, delicious. And I was like, I gotta stop. I gotta cut some of this shit out. And I was just reading like bread takes up a lot of, you know, can cause a lot of weight gain. So I just stopped eating it, started working out.
All right.
Wasn't the
So
story?
I mean, listen, I don't. I've eaten bread since Troy was a baby, but I just don't do it all the time.
Wasn't the story you had a cheeseburger, or my mom? She was pregnant with me, and you guys were up late, and she was like,
No, it was
"I want a
with Troy.
cheeseburger."
It was
Or
with
with
Troy.
Troy.
She
And you
got
went
up.
downstairs and made cheeseburgers, and
No.
you gave it to her.
Let me
You made
fin-
one
let me-
cheeseburger.
No. She went downstairs at 2:30 in the morning and made a cheeseburger. She was
Uh-huh.
pregnant. She came back upstairs and started eating it in the bed. And I smelled it. And I looked over. I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" She's like, "I mean, the cheeseburger. I want a cheeseburger." I was like, "Oh my gosh." I rolled back over. I said, "Give me a bite." and I took it and like wanted to eat like half of it. It was just like I was just doing stuff that it was sympathy weight. I guess I gained with her. And after that, I was just like, "Yeah, this isn't any good. I gotta stop this."
Then he went full hybrid athlete
Yeah.
on Wall Street.
Chuck, I have to ask you, the music that you play in the beginning, is there a volume control for that?
Was it super loud?
It's
Yes.
extremely loud.
Annoyingly.
We couldn't hear Colby. Like,
I do that, so I can adjust it in the post production, so we'll be able to hear Kobe just fine. But yeah, there's a volume.
oh, okay,
A little too loud for probably us and the audience, but
okay.
good to know.
We'll work on those.
I thought it was
logistics.
loud. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, tad.
Good,
Tad.
good call.
We'll work on those logistics moving forward. But for now, do want to dive into some of the action that's been going around the Major League Baseball. Phillies were in action today. They did not get the victory, unfortunately, losing
Why are we
5-0 to
starting out
the
with baseball?
Giants. But do want to talk a little bit of baseball, maybe some Yankees with how they've been starting hot 8-2, and also get into the Sixers after losing to the Spurs more recently than the Pistons game. Is their season over? Do they still have a chance at making a run in the playoffs? Are we as optimistic as we have been in the past? So I want to kick it to you first, Chuck. And I know that you wanted to discuss some birds in Jalen Hurts in that article that Tim McManus wrote. I know that we all probably read the article and heard some of the things hearsay going around the locker room. We've talked about it before, but yeah, what were your thoughts on the article about Jalen Hurts?
Well, when I read it, I know like when I talk a lot of time, I address Troy. Me and Troy have similar experiences. I trust you guys' judgment, but I do want Troy's thought on what I'm about to say. I'm just curious. So when when Troy and I were growing up, there were very few black quarterbacks in the NFL. And if they were on the Eagles. There weren't a ton of black quarterbacks. So I'm super sensitive to when I hear a black quarterback get criticized. Not criticized, because this is, I don't know if I would call it criticism. I think it's more of like, Troy, I don't know about you, but like, as I was, coming up in my career, sometimes I was surrounded by people who didn't look like me. And they always like treated me in a way that was a little different, where they wouldn't treat like their white counterparts the same.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way, not like in a racist way, but just like the way
Mhm.
they talked to me. Like it was almost like
Right.
like a little bit of like they threw a little bit of slang in there.
Mhm.
They called me brother. It was just like this little stuff that made me kind of think twice. And it was not like nothing that was like made me that's like angry. It just kind of just stuck in the back of my head. So when I started to hear the stuff about Jalen, the first thing I thought about was, if he was white, would they be doing the same thing? Would be like nitpicking about some of the stuff that mentioned in the article? And I have what they talked about, but as I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, well, Wentz went through this when he was with the Eagles. However, and correct me if I'm wrong, Troy, his criticism came after he was traded. Like I didn't hear a lot of some of the stuff that Wentz was putting the Eagles through until he left the Eagles. It wasn't written about as much. The moment he left, oh my God, you heard all of the stories. So I was like, well, maybe that's not the case with the Eagles. However, I do find it interesting for a guy who's had as much success as Jalen has had, that to me, it's a lot of nitpicking on what he prefers. When I'm sure like Aaron Rodgers has a preference on how he wants the offense to be run. I'm sure like Matt Stafford has a preference on how he wants the offense to be run. I'm sure, again, this is high level, but Tom Brady had a preference. Peyton Manning, even like Joe Burrow, who doesn't have the resume of Jalen Hurts, he doesn't like being shotgun. He doesn't like his back turned to the defense. So I don't think it's a race thing, but I do think it's pretty interesting that a guy with Jalen's success, that you hear people in the building like talking about him in a negative way. And if it wasn't for him, those people, and I think they said they interviewed over a dozen people, those dozen people would not have a Super Bowl ring if it wasn't for Jalen. And it's just, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way. And I'm not saying what was reported was wrong. I just find it, the fact that they're bringing it up like he's some Joe Schmo that never had any success, and he has these preferences. And I think that's happens with a lot of quarterbacks. They prefer certain things. I don't be long-winded, but I think there's some validity to it, where the offense as a whole hasn't been super successful. The results have been successful, but the offense hasn't been. So I think he deserves, hey, we need you to do this for us to like run at a high level. And when he pushes back, the Eagles need to be strong enough to say, listen, you got to trust us. You do this, we're going to succeed. They do need to make some adjustments with him, but I just find it unfair that a guy with his success is getting this type of like negative press. And Noah mentioned a little bit when we were driving home today that they're probably bored with the A.J. Brown story, so that they moved on to something else. So anyway, that's my long way of it. A lot of things was processing through my head when I was reading the article and hearing like podcasts about it and hearing like WIP talk about it. Like I said, the first thing that popped up was like, is it a race thing? Because a guy that's successful shouldn't be getting this type of negative feedback. But I think I don't think it's that. I just think that it's not used to having a quarterback who pushes back and they don't know how to like handle it. And again, I'm being long-winded, but it goes back to when I mentioned before, when I worked with a lot of people who didn't look like me. They had a hard time like communicating with me about certain things. And I think that's happened with Jalen a little bit, where maybe the people around him, the coaches, maybe they're more comfortable talking to someone who may look like them.
Well,
That's something I never thought
They're not
about.
gonna push back. So that's what I'm.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm. That's my long-winded way. You guys can certainly push back on that. I'm sorry.
I think that's fair for any person. You're more comfortable with people who basically look like you or you come from the same experience, right? So to your point about Wentz, I do remember Wentz's last year, there were some articles coming out about him not being as coachable as we all thought. And I'm not saying that Jalen isn't coachable. I think he is. I think when it comes to Jalen, he likes and needs to be coached hard. So if he pushes back, to your point, Chuck, you said like the organization, the coaches have to be strong enough to say, no, this is what we need to do. This is what you need to do to become a better quarterback. And maybe that hasn't been the case in the past. Well, I know it hasn't been the case for Patullo. He wasn't strong enough to do anything. He wasn't strong enough to lift a piece of paper. So I know that wasn't the case with him. I think he needs to be coached hard. Your point about the other quarterbacks, the Joe Burrows and Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's, I have to push back on because they've had a lot more passing success than Jalen Hurts has. Jalen Hurts has won more than Joe Burrow, and whoever else you mentioned, won just as much as Aaron Rodgers. But as far as being a passer, a pure passing quarterback, they've had more success than Jalen, right? So like on those guys, I would have to push back a little bit. Overall, I thought it was just a hit piece. It was a hit piece, probably coming from Patullo's camp. And I'm not saying that, like you said, some of the stuff was correct. Some of the stuff is on Jalen Hurts. But like, I would assume that you could make a hit piece. Every team could make a hit piece on their quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Burrow, Stafford, on some of the things that the organization may not like about them. Right? So, as far as the article is concerned, I read it. I thought maybe it could help Jalen if he really took to heart what was being said about him. He seems like the type of guy that I'm going to prove you wrong, and I hope that's the case coming up for the next season. Does him being a black quarterback? Yeah, like some people may not be able or know how to relate to black people. I see it every day, right? To your point, I'm the only one of color in like a producing role in my firm. And, sometimes I could tell guys don't know what to say to me or about me. And that's fine. Like I'm there to do a job. I do a good job. What people think about me, what they want to talk about, I really don't care. I just try to do a great job for the company, myself, my family, and that's it. So I'm sure Jalen may have some of that too. It wouldn't surprise me if he did. It wouldn't surprise me if that goes on with Lamar Jackson, if it went on with Warren Moon. Like, you go down the line. So that's the world we live in.
Do you think Tim McManus is credible?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I think so too. I mean, I don't think it was a hit piece.
Listen, he could be credible. He could be credible. Someone can come to him and say all of these things, and he'll go to whatever sources he has and say, is this true or not? And, he could write his piece. I still think it was probably somebody coming to Tim McManus and Jeff McLean and saying, you need to look into this. So,
It's possible. He said he had 12 individuals that kind of spoke to him, and that
12. Oh,
yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a hit piece. I don't know if it needs to be written, and I don't know if it's kind of weird that people are talking about Jalen's back. And I understand like the passing success, but in terms of overall success, I think I read today Jalen was 45 and 16s in games he started and finished over the last 4 years.
mm-hmm.
That's with multiple offensive coordinators, different personnel, obviously different opponents. He's super successful, and I guess my point is I think he has the right to have preferences. However, the offense, the passing offense could be better, and I think it's one of the reasons AJ has been upset. But
Yeah.
so it's a
And
little
listen,
bit. I see
maybe-
what you're saying. A little bit of both.
Yeah, and maybe they feel the only way to get through to Jalen is by going through the media. I don't know if that's right or wrong.
No, that's a good
But
point.
maybe
That's
that's what they feel. So I wouldn't do it that way, but I also
Yeah.
wouldn't have him with 6 different offensive coordinators in 6 years. I think
On
that's
that note-
that's huge.
But on that note, and Cole, this is why you shouldn't start with me and Troy, because we'll just Kobe and Shaq it the whole way. On that point, this is hopefully my last point with this.
Hopefully.
I'm waiting for you.
Hopefully.
What do you think out of the offensive coordinators in the NFL
Mm-hmm.
that call plays?
Mm-hmm.
What is the longest tenured year that they've been in that position? If you had to guess.
I'd probably say, well,
That call plays. I'm not talking about like the
Eric
Rams.
Bieniemy?
No, he just got hired from.
No,
He's
no,
got hired.
you're saying, but you're talking about present day. You're talking about present day.
I'm talking about like an offensive coordinator. How long is the longest tenured offensive coordinator who calls plays been at his
On
in his
average,
post? No,
On
just
average?
right now. Who's the longest tenured offensive coordinator who plays? Not the name. Just what do you think the year is? Because I don't
So
remember the
present
name, I
day.
don't remember the year. Yes.
15 years.
no, that's way
Not
too
even
long.
close.
That's way too long. I'd probably say 2 or 3.
Well, the longest tenured, I forgot the guy's name, but it was 2024. That is the 2024 is the longest. The person who's been an offense coordinator the longest has been in his position. So my point is, they're all like every team is going through what Jalen's going through. If
But
an
Jalen goes
offensive
through it
coordinator
every
is calling
year. I
plays,
get it.
He's
But
either
they
either
don't-
getting fired because he's not doing a good job, or he's becoming a head coach.
I understand.
So Jalen is
But-
nothing different.
No. It's different because Jalen does it every year. He's done it for 11 straight years, dating back to high school, all through college, and through the pros. So you can't say that Joe Burrow has had a different offensive coordinator every year.
Well, he
or
hasn't
play
because
call.
his-
I'm
his
sorry,
coach.
play caller.
His
play
coach is
caller.
calling. His head coach is calling.
Play caller. Play caller. Let's make that difference. Play caller. Matt Stafford hasn't had a different play caller every year.
Because his head
Tom
coach
Brady.
calls the plays.
Correct. That's fine. To me, it's all the same. He's had a different play caller every year. And that, I'm sorry, like, there's those other quarterbacks have a certain level of comfort that Jalen Hurts has not been afforded since he's been in this league.
Hmm.
Yet he still wins, which
Yeah.
is the most important thing to me.
No, I know you're a big Jalen Hurts guy. What did you take away from the article? Did you read the article? Want to read any of it? And what were some of your biggest takeaways from it?
I didn't actually read it, but I saw like a bunch of.
We do a podcast about the Eagles.
It's okay.
But I saw a bunch of stuff talking about it, and I saw what was inside of it. What I got from it is, like people could pick on Jalen for like all his like physical tools, like how much, like his physical traits, like as a quarterback, like he can't. They say he can't throw over the middle of the field and stuff. He can't play in the pocket. He just runs RPOs and doesn't go through his progressions. But like when they start coming for like, oh, he's not a leader. His body language is terrible. Blah blah blah. Like I just feel like we've heard not all the coaches that have coached Jalen Hurts nothing but praise for how he handles himself and like how coachable he is. I heard Nick Sirianni say he's like the most coachable guy he's ever like been around. When I start hearing stuff like that, like that's when I think it's what Troy was saying, like a hit job a little bit. If you want to talk about, like I'm saying, if you want to talk about his physical ability on the field, like he's underwhelming numbers, I get that, but like when you come for his character, like how he handles himself, like how he doesn't lead the team, he's a bad influence or whatever they were saying. I didn't really read it. So, I don't like reading stuff like that.
Can I let me run down what I pull some things from the article.
Oh, wait.
Let him finish.
And I think you can tell from Jalen's like body language on the field last year, like he didn't look happy with like what was being ran on the field. Like I remember watching one of the videos, I forgot who it was, but just like one of how like John Gruden does like the with the quarterbacks that are gonna get drafted, like he like interviewed them like for the draft or whatever. Jalen Hurts was doing that with someone. I forgot who the guy was. I forgot his name, but they were basically talking about, I forgot what play they were talking about, but the quarterback was under center in the play he was talking about. And the guy insinuated that he thought that Hurts would want to like have it in shotgun. That's what he's more comfortable with. And the quarterback they were talking about was Steve Young. Like they were like going over like one of the plays that he ran or whatever. And then Jalen was like, "Well, I want to be just like your boy Steve," because Steve was like under center in that play. And his numbers, like he's very efficient under center and all this stuff that people are talking about, like throwing over the middle of the field and stuff. He's good at it. It just doesn't happen a lot. I feel the numbers reflect that the numbers on efficiency wise, like maybe not over the total overall numbers, because we just don't do it a lot. I think that, like, when has he ever said like, "Yo, this is what I want to do"? Like, I feel like that's people just assume. Like, I don't know. I've seen this offense look different than it has.
But
than
he
it did
should
last
say
year.
that, Noah. He should say
Yeah, I'm
this is
sure.
what I want to do.
He has before in like post game interviews and stuff, and like the sit downs, like the scrums after. He said he wants to be more aggressive over the middle of the field and stuff like that. He said that before. I forgot exactly what he said last year, but he said something like that, like he wants to be aggressive. Like I think it was after the Rams game or whatever. I don't know.
But are you saying his lack of being on the center is a coaching decision, or does he prefer not to do it?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I just feel like
You know what? There's a lot. You
But
listen to the radio and they claim that, he doesn't like to turn his back towards the defense.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's like that.
But you know what? When he is under center, I don't know. He looks good to me.
Yeah. But so are you saying? That's what I'm asking. Do you think it's a coaching thing or the fact Jalen Hurts preference thing?
I do. I think it's a coaching thing.
Okay. I think it's a preference. I think Jalen Hurts doesn't want to do it, and I think he has every right to say that. Hell, like, dude, I
But
won.
like why? But like why do you
I
think
won a
that?
Super Bowl. The
Why
one
do
we
you?
didn't win, I had the game of my life.
Where have you like seen that he doesn't want to do that other than like people like saying that?
I watch the games, so
But
I can
but
something's
You
something's
see them
happening.
not doing it. Like
in Oklahoma, he was Heisman runner-up, right? Wasn't
He
he
ran
under
everything on
center a
shotgun.
lot? Well,
No,
in
he
the
was
shotgun,
shotgun.
or he's under center. Okay.
I don't know.
So
The combination of him like being a like him looking well, like when I watch the games, once you go under center and like get the passing game unlocked under center
yeah,
and stuff, that's when the offense will start flowing the most. And that along with the video I was talking about where they were going over the play and him literally saying like I want to be under center like your boy Steve.
yeah.
Like
I guess
I
my
just
thing
feel
is
like
it.
I don't know. When we've never seen him say like, "Oh yeah, this is what I want to do. Like this is what I'm comfortable in." I've seen him say that like he wants to spice things up in offense and be more aggressive.
I just think he has every right to say this is what I want to do. That's my point. I
And they
think he
could
has
do
every
that.
right to say that.
They could do the not under center stuff, or they could do the shotgun stuff, and they could still make a game plan better than what they had going on. Like since
Yeah.
week one, like the game plan never from week one on, like it never progressed.
Yeah. So
Well,
I think they need to not be afraid to approach him about things. They need to find a way to communicate with him a little bit better. And I do think Jalen needs to be a little bit open to, whatever
To new
new
things.
things
To new
may be
things.
happening.
Right.
Yeah. So they both need to give a little bit. And I don't think it's anything
Yeah.
wrong with Jalen having preferences. He's a
No, not
Super
at
Bowl
all.
winning quarterback.
Not at all.
And he
Not
went to
even- he
one
doesn't
Super
even have to
Bowl
win
and
a
he
Super
played
Bowl.
who would have been MVP in that one.
He's a franchise quarterback. Any franchise quarterback should be able to have some type of say in how they want to
Absolutely.
play.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's the bottom line.
And I
for
also
me.
want to say like the way that these like so-called like sources, like the way they talk about Jalen Hurts and the amount of times they like complain about a guy who's never thrown anyone under the bus other than like taking responsibility for himself. Like it just makes me like a little sick. Like
I think it's a lot of
and
jealousy.
they and they
I think a lot of
and they
people.
come out like anonymously and like they never want to come out and say it themselves. I don't know who it is
Right.
because like every teammate I see was like I saw Tank Bigsby the other day on Instagram like defending Hurts. I've seen all the
I think
linemen doing it. Like I've seen mostly every teammate I see talk about Hurts, they praise him.
I think he's misunderstood from the outside.
misunderstood,
just
and
see
I
all
think
these
there is a lot of
anonymous
jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy from other players, pundits, whatever, with Jalen Hurts. I do, and the fact that he's
No,
a
I
black
think that's
quarterback.
I think that's a great point, Noah. Hurts has been accountable. I've never seen him throw anyone under the bus ever. On top of that, like all the criticism that they put in this article, which I don't think it's a hit piece. I think it's just what they observe. But all of the criticism they put in that piece.
No, I say
It
it's a
hasn't
hit
aff-
piece, Chuck. I say it's a hit piece because of there was no reason for it to come out. There's no reason for it to come out.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah.
you can have negative articles about damn near any quarterback in the league that you want. Just go to someone within the organization. There's someone that doesn't like their quarterback for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason for this article to come out. In my opinion.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I guess what I'm saying is, let's say that stuff is true,
Mm-hmm.
which may be true, and in the sources' minds is true. Has it really affected the Eagles in a negative way? Like since Hurts has been a starting quarterback,
No.
they've won out of the last 4 years, 3 or 4 divisions, been to 2 Super Bowls. His record is incredibly successful.
I
Like-
think Chuck, I do think that the city is very lucky. The team is very lucky. The organization is very lucky that Hurts has the personality that he has, and that it probably won't affect him the way it could affect other quarterbacks. So
Yeah, great point. Great point.
Well, see if the Eagles
I just feel like
offense.
go ahead,
Go ahead,
Noah.
Noah.
sorry. Like the media treats Hurts like he's like a disgrace to the game of football. Like, they do. Like, come on.
Because nobody has his success and does it the way that he does. He doesn't play like the Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't play like the Joe Burrows. He does it differently. People, they just don't want to accept that.
Yeah.
They just don't want to accept that. So,
Hey, listen, I agree. He does play differently, but he can't have. He had a half this year where he had 0 passing yards. Like,
It wasn't all
that's
his
just-
fault.
No,
Wasn't
not
all
all
his
his
fault.
fault, but it's some of his fault. Like, it's not all of his fault, but it is some of his fault. So I think, like Troy, I think we agreed on this. I think Jalen needs to be a little bit more open to some of this, what the
I
coaches
agree.
are kind
I
of
agree with
seeing,
that.
and then the coaches need to do a better job of communicating with him in a way that's not like weird. Like, I don't know. They need They need to do a better job, both sides.
No, that's fair.
transitioning into something more current with the Eagles getting ready for the draft later this month. We got 3 games left in the regular season, guys. For the Sixers, they're back in action tomorrow.
Hold
and they
on,
have
hold
it
on,
back
hold
to
on, hold on, hold on.
back.
Hold it. We're not talking about the Diana Rossini.
Yeah,
Mike
that-
April.
I didn't. Oh yeah. We could since that is more Eagles. I don't have.
I don't know. Do you guys want to talk about? I don't really. I want to really get caught up on it. I don't know how it.
There's nothing to
affects-
get caught up on. There's nothing to get caught
They're
up
having
on.
an affair.
No, I don't. It doesn't. I don't know if they're having an affair or not. I don't care if they're
But-
having an affair or not.
But
what
Troy, you put
go
in
ahead.
the chat
Correct.
that.
Or are they lovers or are they friends? And what does
But
that
how
mean
does that
for-
affect? How do it affect the AJ Brown reporting?
Because
she
I
said
can't.
he's
Because
just a friend.
she was the main one. She was the main one. That it seemed like she had an agenda to report on AJ Brown going to the Patriots. She was
Okay.
the first one, and she was the main one, and it was constant, and it was in all her tweets, and it was in all on ESPN. And I can't, from at this point in time, because of what I saw, I can't really take anything she says about the Patriots or Philadelphia or AJ Brown seriously. Like, she's lost all credibility with me if she's in bed with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel was probably letting her know, hey, listen, say this about AJ Brown. Let's get this thing going. Your mic is off. Your mic is off. Your mic is off.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't
So-
think of that. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
So I can't, she's lost all first of all, I thought she had an agenda anyway, and I couldn't figure out why she was constantly reporting on this. But now I see why. So she's lost a lot of credibility with me.
Are they
Probably
married?
like all of it. Huh?
Are they married?
They're
to
both
other
married. They're both married to other people.
people? Okay. No,
I don't know if they're having affairs. I don't know if they're having affairs. I don't know if they're friends, but they're in bathing suits. They're hanging out at the pools. They're in some far off couples retreat. I don't know. Call me stupid. I don't know.
Okay.
But I have my thoughts about the situation, and now I have
So-
my thoughts about this whole AJ Brown thing. And I'm not saying that AJ Brown can't be traded or he won't be traded.
He's going, fam.
He's going for him. All I'm saying is that this woman here, this reporter here, has lost a lot of credibility.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. I didn't really know the whole story. I know.
Yeah.
Bye,
I didn't
Diana.
really.
Yeah.
Kobe, you have thoughts on it?
I have no thoughts on that. No, I have no thoughts. On that. That was an interesting take by my father. I didn't see anybody talk about that, but
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I guess that could be. I guess that
I
could be
see
a thing. I
every
guess
I see like every Eagles fan on Twitter talking about that.
I didn't really research it too much. So
yeah,
they're
neither
thinking
did I. I didn't research it.
she's planning stories to help get AJ to the Pats.
Or it could be Mike Vrabel was like saying, let's talk about this. Maybe you should talk about that.
Can I
Let's
just say
try to
like
get AJ Brown. I'm trying to get AJ Brown. Can you help me out here? How can we do this?
about this AJ Brown like trade thing? Like I'm kind of tired of it. Like if they're gonna trade him, like I don't care anymore, honestly. But like I saw a report like the Patriots were only offering like a second round pick. Like
What?
I don't
Yeah, he's not
I
getting
don't
traded.
see that happening like at all.
He's
And
not
that's
getting
like
traded there.
exactly-
He won't be getting traded there.
I would rather
If he
keep
gets
him.
traded there, the NFL should do an investigation. Really.
That's
saying he
that's
can't
not
get
even
traded.
what DJ Moore went for to the
If
Bills.
they can't get a first plus,
Then
I'd rather just keep
he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
but
Howie's not
Troy,
doing that.
I don't
Howie's
think
not
the
trading
NFL
him
should
for-
get involved because Mike Vrabel's having an affair.
No.
No, if the
No, no,
Eagles
no.
only
I'm
get a second
saying
round
if-
pick.
I'm saying if he gets traded for a second round pick to the Patriots.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's up?
Speaking of possible new destinations, is Bryce Harper? Do we want to go there before the Sixers? Is Bryce Harper
Yeah, we can go there.
worthy of a new
I do.
contract that he's asking for?
I have a question about that, Cope. Is this old news or new news? Because I know last year.
No, this
Scott
is new.
Boras
This is
wanted-
new.
Okay.
Scott Boras
I
came-
didn't hear this already, so you guys got to get me
He-
caught up. I'm like all. behind
Yeah,
the
so
scenes.
apparently he has floated the idea of extending him now when he has 6 years left on this contract.
Well, last
so
year he
this
has
co-
an extension as well. So he had 7
And
years
it's-
last year, and
And he's talking about maybe another extension for Bryce Harper. Do you think he deserves another extension?
I don't. If you don't mind me going first, I don't. What I do know is if Bryce Harper, even with his subpar year last year, if he was a free agent this year, he would get more money now than what his contract calls for. He just would. So I don't know if they're looking for an extent. Like he's got 6 years. Like he's gonna be in his 40s. Like
Yeah.
do they want to rip it up and then get a new one, or do they want to like extend off to the 6 years? That's you can't extend off
Yeah.
the current contract. If they want to rip it up, that's up to the Phillies. But I don't think the Phillies going to do anything until they figure out this lockout situation in the MLB. Like I don't think they're like extending anybody or even like ripping up a contract and signing a new one.
Would you
So-
extend him? If he asked you for a new contract, would you extend him?
No, like he's got 6 more years left. Well, he's going to be in his 40s. Would extend him for what?
Yeah.
He should be retired. after
would
that
you-
contract is
Okay. All right. So the next question is, would you rip it up and give him a new one that pays him more money, maybe add on an extra year?
I wouldn't only, well, one, it was my money, probably not. If it's not my money, maybe, but I got to see what the landscape is for this new collective bargaining agreement. I don't know. They're probably going to put in a salary cap. I don't know how this going to hamstring the Phillies. Well, they got the 5th highest payroll right now. So, I don't know. I would, as of right now, no, I would not do it. Once they come out of this, hopefully if they resolve this potential lockout, maybe I would consider it to keep them happy, but right now, no. Absolutely not. How do you guys feel about
Yeah,
it?
it doesn't sound realistic to me, but it does sound like Scott Boras was wanting to get him a new contract, not extend the current one he's
Not to
on,
extend.
but to rip it
Yeah,
up
I
like
don't.
you said.
I don't. I don't know if Scott Boras. Troy, I don't even remember when they striked in '94. It felt like Scott Boras was like signing. He had to sign off on the new deal before before they accepted it. Like he has a lot of power
He does.
with those players. So I don't know what he's thinking. Well, I kind of he wants more money. I do know Bryce. If he was a free agent, he would get more money than the Phillies are paying him. But that's not their problem. That's his problem for signing a 13-year contract. So I would not do anything. Now, if Boris is threatening, well, you're not getting any of my clients unless you rip this up and sign him a new one, you might have to think about it. But like I said, I wouldn't do anything until after they resolve the whole potential lockout thing. So no, I wouldn't do it right now.
Yeah, to me, Boris or Harper, they don't really have a leg to stand on in this situation. But
Yeah,
that's not
you're
going
right,
to stop.
you're right.
It's not going to stop Boris from from asking and
Yeah.
trying to get his client as much money as possible. There's
Yeah.
just no reason for it. There's no reason for it at this point.
I don't know if he has any other clients on the Phillies. Maybe he's threatening to, well, so and so's going to walk.
I think
But everyone's kind of
Sanchez.
locked up.
I think Sanchez,
Sanchez
is
was-
his client. But
Well,
he,
he
but
just signed
Sanchez is on a much cheaper contract. So
Well, he
whatever.
just signed a new deal, so he's
Yeah,
already locked up.
yeah.
So I can't really,
And
unless
I'm
he's
just
threatening
saying
not to bring.
just, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Can we do a little Yankee talk?
Of course, we could talk about the 8-2
Won't-
New York.
What, they're
8-2 New York
8-2?
Yankees.
They just
who
lost,
are
huh?
Playing tonight. No, they are on now.
I-
They won
They were 7-1.
yesterday.
Oh,
They lost to the Marlins. They lost the game to the Marlins, but they started a series against the A's yesterday. Ahmad Rosario with a clutch go-ahead 3-run home run in that game. And I don't know if you guys probably didn't see it, but his bat flip, you would have had me thinking it was a playoff game. It was sick. He had a sick bat flip. He was bumping his chest, saying, "I'm here. This is my."
how
It was
sick can
awesome.
when
It
you
was
when you
awesome.
flip a bat, you just go like that, right? You just flip it in the air
No.
and-
You got to be smooth. It's about the flick of the wrist. He didn't flip it. He just kind of like he was cool with it. It was cinematic. It was cinematic. And he had two
Okay.
home runs. He had 2 home runs in that game. Listen, the Yankees are 8-2. They have some of the best pitching in baseball. Cam Schlittler, who's been untouchable all year, he got beat up yesterday, and they still found a way to win. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Yankees. They look like the best team in the American League, maybe the best team in all of baseball right now. And
Would you
the
I have to
sky's
ask you
the
this
limit
question
right now.
I have to ask you this question
Sky's the
based
limit.
on what you just said. Would you rather be a Yankees fan or a Phillies fan?
No. That's not the question.
I'd rather be
I'm
a
at
Yankees
that's
fan.
that's my question. That's my question.
Well, of course he's going to say the
What would
Yankees.
you rather be,
but
son?
that's not
Since
Listen,
you've been Kobe, since
I-
you've been alive, would you say
but he's a
you've
Yankee fan.
had?
He's going to say Yankees.
Would you say that you've had a better time being a Yankee fan, or I've had a better time being a Phillies fan?
I would definitely say I've had a better time being a Yankee fan.
Okay,
You've
let's
had a
talk
better
about
time
that.
being a Phillies fan.
Let's talk about that. So, Kobe, you were like
Would you not
dangerously
agree?
quiet last
No, I agree. I agree.
podcast.
I agree.
With as Troy was, and Troy, you could, if you don't want to talk about this, because I know you have different rules for the Phillies than you have for other teams.
No, that's you.
But when you're,
That's
when
you.
you're,
You can't criticize the Phillies.
no,
I can
can't
criticize.
Phillies.
No, you
No.
can't.
You said last
No, you
podcast
can't.
that you have different. We brought up like other teams. Like I don't care about the other teams. This is for the Phillies only. So, when your dad was like describing the Phillies last few years, if you just took away like the name of the Phillies, you would think he would be talking about the Yankees. So, how do you feel over the last, I don't know, 15 to 10 years, Yankees have had the highest payroll in baseball. They've had obviously Judge won multiple MVPs. They've had Garrett Cole. They've had Stanton. They've had Gary Sanchez. They've had like really good players.
That's a reach. So
Gary
include
Sanchez?
Gary Sanchez on that list. Yeah. He was a baby, but he was the baby bomber. He was a part of the baby bomber era. He had
Okay.
like
So you had
one
really good
good
players,
year.
but haven't been any like overall. There hasn't been any World Series since 2009 against you, and you played the Phillies in that World Series.
right.
were-
And
in the
multiple
World
players
Series-
from that Yankee team has been busted for, performing enhancing
They were in the
drugs.
World Series 2 years ago.
No, he's saying one. They haven't won.
one.
Okay.
The Phillies won the World Series 3 years ago. So it's very similar franchises.
They are
Well,
similar.
your dad was killing us. You said nothing. How do you like?
So-
Give me something.
You
Give
guys
us
don't give me the
something about,
chance to say a lot often.
I'm giving you right now. I'm giving you a chance right now.
What do you want? What is your question?
I want to know, do you agree with your dad's philosophy about, hey, we're spending all of this money. We have all of these talented players. It must lead to some kind of championship. Like it has to, because that's the way baseball works, right? Like the Yankees have had the highest payroll in the last 15 years. You've had prominent players. You've had MVPs, and there hasn't been any World Series. According to your dad, that is a object failure.
Well, it definitely has to help having that, right? Like you should be close every single year with the highest payroll, with the best
Okay.
players that are of MVP caliber.
But you would agree that baseball has like a randomness to it. Like it's sometimes the best team doesn't win.
Of
it
course,
just-
that's sports.
this
That's
kinda
not even a
happens.
baseball. I think that's a sports thing, right?
No, usually in
It
football,
is.
basketball,
Chuck.
the best team wins. The best teams
No,
wins
no.
in a sport.
No,
You
no,
get the
no,
most
no.
talent.
It's random. It's random. OKC winning last year, or being the best team last year, came out of nowhere. Right? It came
but
out
did
of
they-
nowhere. The previous
but
year, they lost
had
in the first or second round. Like that, it
No,
came
no,
out
no,
of
no, no,
nowhere.
no, no.
Chuck,
I
listen,
think-
you can't. Every sport is random. College basketball, college football, pro football. The Seattle Seahawks. Would you have said the Seattle Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl this year? No, nobody was saying that. No one
No,
was
but I
saying
think
that.
as the season went on,
Okay, that's fine. But going into a season, everything is random. Baseball
Okay,
is
I
random
agree
for
with
the Phillies. Baseball is random for the Phillies, but it's also random for every other major league team. So when you say that, okay, it's baseball, it happens. Well, baseball happens for every organization ever, right? But when you have a high payroll the way the Phillies do,
and the Yankees.
and you that's fine. The Yankees were supposed to win. As long as I've been alive, the Yankees were supposed to win. That's it. It is World Series or bust every year. You listen to talk radio about Yankees, people
Sure.
are pissed off if they go to the World Series and lose. They're like, you don't see a lot of people like, oh, you know what? Yeah, they had a great. They're pissed off that their team lost.
But what
right?
would you? So you're saying Philly
I
fans
don't-
weren't pissed off?
Phillies fans, Chuck, you were pissed off, but you're like, yeah, we get but they won 96 games. Who cares about winning 96 games? I don't care about winning 96 games. I don't care if my team wins 100 games, right? A lot of Phillies fans will fall back on that. I see less of that from Yankee fans. You win 100 games, you're supposed to win the World Series. You win 96
they have-
games, in my opinion, you're supposed to win the World Series.
So-
I don't want to hear about this random shit. I don't
So
want to
wait-
hear about it.
Agree. I can kind of get behind that, Troy, but they haven't won. I guess that's my point. Like, no matter what the fans' emotions are, the bottom line is they haven't won since 2009. And again, a lot of those players were busted for PEDs.
Chuck,
You said when we were kids, Troy, they
We're
didn't.
talking
They had the
about-
most wins in the 80s. They did not
we're
win a
talking
World
about,
Series in the 80s.
I think we're talking about two different things. I'm saying that the fans, yes, they haven't won, but the fans are more upset that they haven't won year after year than we as Philly fans are.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I disagree. I think that's hard to gauge.
I,
But
I don't
just-
because listen, you said it yourself. You guys said it yourself. But they win 96 games. Like you're upset that they lost, but you're also like, oh, but you know what? We had a good team. We had a good year.
Like
maybe
Yankee
we can
fans-
do it last year. Yankee fans aren't like that.
Yankee fans that have their own podcast just wouldn't. You wouldn't hear that from Yankee fans that have their own podcast. Them falling back on
Never.
96 wins.
All right. I'm giving you.
Now, but
you
if I was a Phillies
you're
fan,
a Yankee fan that has your own podcast. I'm giving you an opportunity. I love that the fact that your dad came in to save you in this. I want what
I'm what?
what are your thoughts of the last
He doesn't need me to say
Dad, hold on and let him go.
last
Okay, go ahead.
10 years? What are your thoughts? Like it's I don't understand. Like the Phillies, Bryce Harper been there for 5 years. Like this is their window. Like that they're doing in right now. They're
Yeah, it's the
playing
same thing with
well,
the
but
Yankees. It's the same thing with the Yankees.
We that's my point. It's the same exact. Like we're like the Spider-Man meme. And when your dad was like criticizing them, I thought it was
think he was
interesting that
talking
you were
about
like,
the fans, and you're talking
I'm
about
talking
the teams
about
themselves.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fans. We
I
the
agree, Chuck.
Fan
I agree.
base views their respective teams differently. That's all I'm. That's
But from
all
a
I'm
baseball
saying.
standpoint, the
I
Yankees
don't
and Phillies
think so, though.
have been on par with each other in the sense that they've been atop the division. They've been successful during the regular season, more years than not, and haven't
I've seen Philly
come through in the
fans like
playoffs.
burn the city down for less than like a
Like
regular
Phillies
season
fans are
loss.
ready to burn the city down after a week one loss.
That's the Eagles. That is the Eagles.
Yeah, it's different.
The Eagles fans are different from
We're not.
Phillies fans.
We're not seeing the same thing on Twitter then.
Yeah,
Probably not.
I think the Eagles. I think the
Probably
Phillies
not.
fans are not thrilled with the lack of success.
See, and that's a key phrase. Not thrilled.
I mean, I don't know. Like they're not. They're too worried about like reading about Jalen Hurts. I don't know what the
I think
what's
think
going on.
I think a lot of Phillies fans have like given up hope, like a little bit, like they have no hope. Like
They what?
the thing, like they've given up hope, like on the Phillies. Like they hate on like every player that's on our team, like on Twitter. But I don't see Philly fans like they'll cope. Like you gotta cope a little bit, like when other like fan bases are talking hot about your team. Like you always gotta do that. Like I will still defend the Phillies, even though like I know like it's probably over.
Yeah, I'm a defender.
But
Let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask Chuck and Noah a question. Do you think they should have won a World Series by now?
yeah,
Yes, I think they should have
within
beat the
this
Mets.
5 years.
They should have. That series with the Mets is the. I can't. I still wake up.
But
thinking
no,
about
but
that.
like, but
No, you can't do 5 years, Troy. You can't do 5. Harper's been there 5 years. Sherbert's been there 4 years. Turner's been there. This is
for, like,
Turner's
7 years.
third year. What's that?
so what? I don't know. Chuck,
Harper's been here for 7 years. Like,
No,
And-
he's been here
Chuck,
for 5
Chuck-
years.
no, he's been here for longer than that.
2019.
And
7
Chuck,
years.
so what? Turner's been here for 3 years. They went to a World Series without him. So what does that mean? What does that matter? That he's the only been here
No,
for 3
because
years?
I think last podcast, I encourage you guys. I'm begging you guys, please listen to our podcast when it's done. Troy kept saying 5 years. You've had MVP caliber players for 5 years. Turner's only been here for 3 years. Sherbert's been here for 4 years. You kept saying 5 years.
Well,
So that's
well,
what I- that's what
well,
I meant to get
Harper.
at.
Well, okay, that's fair. Well, Harper's been here for more than 5 years, so that's your MVP caliber player, right? You like Wheeler. How long has Wheeler been here?
I don't know.
5 years.
5 years. I say 5 years because to me that was when
And
you could look at the Phillies and be like, "How you doing, Jess?" You could look at the Phillies and say, "You know what? That's a World Series caliber squad in the making."
Mm-hmm.
May not have been like the perfect squad to go to a World Series, but you could see it coming, kind of like you could see the Flyers coming. We don't talk about a lot of Flyers right now. I don't know if you guys looked at the Flyers roster, but You should
have
probably
both,
take a
but
look
they got
at
a
it.
19-year-old
Take-
that's killing it right now.
They it seems like all of their players can't be older than 22 years old.
Oh, that's awesome. We got to talk about them. We got to get them on the rundown.
Hopefully
Yeah.
we didn't jinx
Episode.
their playoff hopes. But
I
yeah.
do
Can I
feel
just
like
say-
we're.
Can I just
But
say?
going, huh?
I mean, our logo is orange. It's
Oh,
got some
you're
orange
still
in there.
talking. Here you
But going back to the Phillies, that's why I was saying 5 years. Just because that's when, to me, that's when they started to really turn a
That's
corner.
fair. That's fair. I do feel like we're taking the focus off the Yankees and their lack of success. And there's no.
Listen,
there's
I'm
no-
pissed.
I want
That-
the,
is that-
that's what
is
I
that
want.
what you want?
Cole, I want
You
the-
want this? Huh? That what you want? I'm angry. I'm from New
That's
York.
exactly what I want.
This is New York. Where the bodega at? I'm angry.
That's what I want. That's what I want. I don't know. I think we're the Spider-Man meme, but the Phillies are getting all the hate, and that's what's bothering me.
Who's the Phillies are getting hate from who? From who?
In this podcast from you, and your
Because the
son
Phillies are
is-
my
it's
team.
It's
Oh,
the same thing.
Oh, you're saying that Kobe should have the same hate for his team the way I have.
And I
for
have
the
nobody to go back and forth about the Yankees with.
He should have
If you
pushed
guys are
back
gonna
on
argue about
you for arguing about the Phillies when his team is doing the exact same thing. His teams they're the exact same. They're mirror images of each other. He should have pushed back a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Push back in what way? Like, what should he have said?
That having
Kobe was acting like the Yankees were like so much better than the Phillies recently.
yeah, like look, let me look down
We-
on my
are we
high
not?
horse on the Phillies.
Are we
because
not?
They're not
What
winning
am I
World
missing?
Series, and it's the same
What am I
thing.
missing?
In the past 5 years, I'm pretty sure the Phillies probably have more wins in the regular season.
Listen, but
Same
that's
amount
the
of-
whole.
Same
See,
amount of World
we're-
Series appearances.
We are
do you
taking
mean?
a small. We are taking a small slice of the
Oh,
pie by saying the last
I'm not
5
going back
years.
to Mickey Mantle. Troy,
That's-
I'm not going back to Mickey Mantle
no.
and being like, oh,
Troy.
they got all these
Let
World
me talk
Series.
that. Let me talk that, please. Troy, you harp on Bryce Harper a lot, but like before Bryce came to the Phillies, like we had no one.
You had no
He
one.
saved-
I love Bryce
he
Harper.
saved-
I love Bryce Harper.
He saved us, so that's why I say past 5 years. Okay, since
Correct.
Bryce got here, like we probably have the same amount of wins in the regular season as the Yankees, same amount of World Series appearances, same amount of NLCS games or championship
So-
games. Like,
But when you compare the Phillies and the Yankees, all you can compare is the last 5 years. So
Yeah.
so the Phillies haven't won
No,
since
let's go
2008.
15 years. Let's
Let
go
me
15
finish. Let me
years.
finish. Right, the Phillies haven't won since 2008, and the Yankees haven't won since 2009.
and they played the Phillies.
And they played the Phillies, and they beat the Phillies. So from 2009 until 2020, how many times did the Phillies make the playoffs, and how many times did the Yankees make the playoffs?
probably about like
I
half.
might have those numbers.
We didn't make the playoffs till like 2021. 20,
Okay.
since like
From
since
2000
like
so from
since like
2009,
20.
so for 13 years, basically, we didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, we probably didn't make the playoffs from about like 2014, 15. Till,
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Hold up. You talk among yourself.
that's when we were rebuilding. We're not the Yankees. Like the Yankees have been.
And that's my point. That is my point. We're
Okay,
not
Troy,
the
but
Yankees.
We're talking about the people
We're
that
not
have
the
been on
Yankees.
that are on the team currently, the cores that are currently happening. That's what
All I'm
talking
saying, like you guys wanted to say from 2009, we're the Spider-Man meme, and we're not the
We
Spider-Man
are.
meme from 2000. From
We
2009,
Absolutely
we're
are,
not.
Troy.
We're not.
No.
Hold on, what success have the Yankees have? I understand. I missed the conversation. Hold on, what happened? How are they much better of us than
We
since
haven't
2009?
because we haven't made the playoffs in 13 years.
Hold on, let me see.
I know that from 2016
we
to
didn't
now, we
make the-
missed the
we
playoff.
didn't-
We missed the playoffs once.
We didn't make the playoffs, but like we still ended with the same like result, like no championship. Okay.
I mean,
Well, that's a little bit more success then. That's a little bit more success.
Oh,
That's
you-
what we're
You got
talking
it.
about.
You got it. You guys got it. You guys are the most popular brand like in the world.
listen, if you want to say in the last
Yeah.
5 years they're mirror images of each other, I guess.
I'm just talking about like since these two like cores have been like assembled, like surrounded about like Judge and Harper, like when they're both
See,
like these
the
eras.
last 5 years of let me try to put it this way. The last 5 years have been, relatively speaking, great for us as Phillies fans, right? Would you say that? Relatively speaking, the last five
I
years
would
have
say
been
above
great
that.
for us.
I would say above average.
I would
Above
say,
average.
like top in like the top like 10
The-
of the league.
The last
Maybe
5 years for the Yankees have been average to below average. With looking at each other in the mirror, their expectations are different than our expectations. That just proves it right there. I would say, overall, relatively speaking, I've been very happy with the last 5 years from the Phillies because, previously we weren't making playoffs, right? It's frustrating that they haven't won one, but for Yankee fans, it's like, yeah, dude, like you're supposed to go to the playoffs. You're supposed to win 90 games, go to the playoffs, win playoff series, and get to the World Series. Can't win them all, but that is the expectation.
I think that's the expectation in the Phillies fandom and locker room. Like I think you asked Bryce Harper, you asked Kyle Schwarber, they're like, we think we can win the World Series. We want to win the World Series. Like that's what we said. That's what we're trying to do. That's our goal. Like we're not trying to do
And that's
anything less
fair.
than that.
And that's fair. But if you ask somebody from the Yankees, they'd be like, we're supposed to win. Like, this is disappointing. Getting to the World Series and not winning is disappointing. Not getting to the World Series is disappointing. It doesn't matter how many wins we have. It doesn't matter how many jerseys we sell. Don't care about the jerseys that we sell. It's a different situation over there.
Listen,
If you want to compare, I think a better comparison would be us and, I don't know, maybe the Mets.
No, hell no.
Have the Mets went
But I feel like
to the World Series?
I feel like
The last time the World Series was 2015.
Oh, okay.
you're talking about like they don't care about like the jersey sales or whatever. Like that's the fact is they sell the most jerseys, so they're gonna be able to like. That's why they have the expectations because they have all that other stuff. Like
They're more
they
like the
can't-
Cowboys.
they're like the Lakers of like the Lakers. Like
They're
they
not
get whatever
the
they
Lakers.
want.
They're more like
They
you
get
know how the
you-
Cowboys
that's-
talk about
that's-
the ring they got in 90,
That's an
96.
insult. That's an insult.
the Lakers
That's
are a
an
good
insult to the
comparison.
Yankees.
The Cowboys is crazy.
That's an insult. That's an
The Lakers,
insult
like-
to the Yankees. Listen. Let's be fair to every other sports organization in every other sport, and not compare them to the Cowboys. We have to be fair to them. No matter how much you hate them, you can't compare them to the Cowboys organization.
Fine. Anyway,
Speaking of not having a leg to stand on, that's what Nick Nurse is looking like right now. If the season continues the way that it has been going, with only 3 games left, he's headed what seems like for the hot seat this offseason. The Sixers can't play better basketball and make some noise in the playoffs this year. I mean, I would say if they end up in the play-in and they lose, he's got to go. He's got to be out. But they have 3 games remaining, a back-to-back starting tomorrow, and their last game on Sunday. It's crazy what a week does, because a week ago we were saying how this team could be the most dangerous team going into the playoffs. Everybody healthy. Nobody wants to see us, and now not feeling the same way. How are we feeling about the Sixers? They have 2 winnable games against the Pacers and Bucks, you think, after playing the Rockets. So still some optimism that they can lock up that 6th seed, but it's not guaranteed. So how are we feeling about the prospects of the Sixers with 3 games left in the season? I'll kick it to you first, Noah. How you feel about the Sixers right now?
I would say it's very, like playoff-wise, it's very matchup dependent for us. Like I feel good about us playing. I wouldn't say I feel good, but I feel like there's a chance we could beat the Knicks. We played them first round. I feel like we match up well against them.
Do you?
I know I could see them
I don't
like
think so.
I could see them like just like out rebounding us like they did last time and just like. But like in a perfect world, I could see us beating them, but it's never been perfect. So
I think they can beat them. I think you're right. But
like the Pistons, maybe.
I wouldn't be that afraid of the
I'm more
Pistons.
scared of. I'm more scared of the Celtics than the Pistons.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I would not. Detroit is, they're definitely a machine with the way they've played in the regular season, but we haven't seen that dominance in the playoffs like we have with the Knicks and with the Celtics. So I would say they're a little bit more vulnerable for the Sixers, especially when you consider Embiid, Maxey, Paul George. They've all had that playoff experience. I'm not afraid of Tobias Harris in the playoffs. I'm just not. So I don't know. I mean, they would have to be the 8th seed to play Detroit in the first round. Do you guys think they're gonna? Dad, I'll kick it to you. Do you think they'll end up locking up the 6th seed, or do you think they're gonna fall into the play-in?
I think they're going to fall into the play-in. I think I think Atlanta. It's Atlanta, right? Atlanta's going to lock up the 6th seed.
It
They're
would
gonna
have to be
fall into the
Toronto.
play-in.
It
Or
would have to be
Toronto. Toronto, I'm sorry. Atlanta's far ahead, right? They're
Atlanta's fifth.
They're fifth,
Toronto's
two
6th.
games ahead. Atlanta's 2
So-
games ahead of
Yeah.
Toronto.
and they
So-
have the
Yeah.
tiebreaker against the Sixers.
Right. So it'll be Atlanta. I think it's Toronto. Who does Toronto have left?
I don't know.
They have the Knicks in one game, right?
They
Or
play
Boston?
Miami tomorrow. They play the Knicks Friday, so they're back to back, and then Brooklyn on Sunday.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure we're
I
a game
think-
behind the Raptors.
We are.
Yeah, I think we are. I think Toronto wins that 6th seed. We're in the play-in, and we're going to have to play Miami in the play-in, I think, right? If that's the case.
Right now,
If-
Orlando. They would play Orlando.
I wouldn't like to play them. They're a young athletic team that likes to get up and down the floor. That's not what we do well on
And-
defense.
And if they were to lose that game, they'd play right now the winner of Charlotte and Miami. Two teams that we've beaten, but we've also lost to this year.
Yeah. So we got blown out by almost 50
Right.
to Charlotte. Like,
But we beat them last time we played.
yeah. I listen, to answer your question, I think we're going to fall into the play-in, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get out of the play-in round. I
Does-
honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Does any part of you guys want? Do any part? Is there any part that wants the Sixers to make the play-in and lose so that Nick Nurse gets fired?
No, I think he's going to get fired anyway. Outside of winning the championship, I think he gets fired.
I'm not,
Really?
I do.
I'm not like dying for Nick Nurse to get fired, like a lot of people are.
You like him as your head coach of the 76ers?
I don't mind Nick Nurse. Like I just think we have like 4 good players on our team.
Can I ask you a question? How many good players? And Chuck, you're going to love this one. How many good players do the Spurs have on their team?
Like 9, maybe.
9?
8.
Name them.
Hold up. No, you need to get closer to the mic. I texted you, but you know, get closer to the mic.
I'm the same.
I think Justin Edwards is a good player, but he doesn't play.
But like, good.
When you say good players, what do you mean?
Like I'm talking like an above average like NBA player. Like
They have 9.
I was being.
Now-
I was being.
Now we're hearing Neko.
I was being dramatic when I said that. I got to look at their. I promise you, they got at least 3 or 4 more than we do. Yeah.
Can you name them?
But no, he's right
On the
that
Spurs?
they don't really like. They have their top 4, and then there's a big drop off from there.
Like
Whereas a lot of other teams are more.
I don't even
well-rounded.
know. I don't even know who the Spurs top 4. I know Wemby. I know Castle. After that,
well, okay, yeah,
Don't know.
I got him right here.
go ahead, tell me.
They have-
Dylan Harper.
No, wait,
they have
there's an
Wemby,
echo
Steph
when you
Castle,
Noah.
Dylan Harper.
No, there's an echo when you're in.
Well, I just switched AirPods. and
Okay.
so
All right, no
this
worries.
This one, I guess, is quiet, so I don't know.
Move your hoodie. I can't hear you.
But I'm talking
still
through
hear
my
an
mic.
echo.
I'm talking through my computer, not my head.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Spurs roster right now. Wemby, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, De'Aaron Fox, and Luke Carnett and Carter Bryant. Like those, Luke Carnett would be a better backup center than Embiid's ever had in his life. Well,
Really?
Carter Bryant, like that's probably like the worst of the
That's
guys I just named. He's on the Sixers, like he's getting like 20 minutes a night.
They're good players.
But
They're good players.
The Sixers.
They're not great
I
players.
don't,
They're not
Troy, I
world
don't understand
beaters.
I don't understand where you're going with this. What do you mean?
Let me
They are
finish.
good
Let me
players.
finish. They're not world beaters, right? The reason why they're good players is because they know their roles. They know how to play within whatever system that they have, and they're comfortable. Can you say the same thing about?
Where was this
Let me
system?
finish. Let me finish. Can you say the same thing about the Sixer players? Like when you look at the Spurs play, and they're comparable players. Take the superstars out of it. They're comparable players, right? When you look at those comparable players play, do they play in the same type of manner? Same type of confidence? Seems like every time Spurs get an open three-point shot, they hit it. Does it look familiar?
I saw the other day that the Sixers were like bottom 3 in the league in like shot quality.
That's not, and again, that is not the Spurs' issue. Why isn't it their issue? But why is it the Sixers' issue?
The Sixers, like it's kind of like everyone, like on offense, like everyone kind of does like the same thing. It just like depends like the combination of people they're doing it with. Like they're just running like dribble handoffs. It just depends. Like sometimes they're running with VJ, and they'll have like all the guys hovering around a 3-point line. Like there's nothing off ball going on.
That's
Trying to get a
you're
look.
right. You're right.
Just
That's,
running dribble handoffs with each other and then trying to like get either like a mismatch or like a step in the guy.
you're right.
And like
Let me
they'll
ask you
run
a
it with
question.
Anyone, whoever's out there, like I don't know.
Let me ask you a very pointed question. Very pointed question. If Kelly Oubre and Grimes and Justin Edwards, give me somebody else, Barlow,
Bona.
if Bona, if they were all on the Spurs, and you take all of their players and put them on the Sixers, do you think they would play exactly the same way, or they will all be playing
First of all,
differently?
None of the guys you just named would even like get playing time in the Spurs. Like over the guys there.
I need you to understand what I'm saying. Just switch those players. So you have to get playing time on there because those are the players that you have. He doesn't have Vassell or Castle. He has Grimes. He has Kelly Oubre. He has Bona. Do you think those guys will be playing better in the Spurs system and under that coach? And how do you think Vassell will be playing and whoever else you named with Nick Nurse? My feeling is Kelly Oubre and Grimes will probably be better players on the Spurs roster because they would have an offense where they know their roles, they know what they're supposed to do when they get in a game, and there's nobody freewheeling. They play a team style of basketball. And to your point, Noah, you are right. They probably wouldn't be on the Spurs because the Spurs organization would not want that type of player.
Boneheads.
Boneheads. That's my point.
Love you, Kelly. Love you, Quentin. But just had to.
Like like let me not get it wrong. I like those guys. Like I love those guys. They play for the Sixers. You know, they always have a spot in my heart. But like,
I agree. They're family.
they're
They're
not
family.
like I can't trust those guys like in a playoff game. Like after our core of VJ, Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George, like I can't. Those guys are not consistent like players. Like some nights they won't show up at all. Like they act like I feel like they need to play.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you another
Teams
question?
that win championships in this era of basketball, like they don't after even like after their starting five, being like, we can't even say we have a starting five of people we trust. We just have like
Right.
four. But even after the starting five, they have like 3 guys off the bench that they could come in and they'll trust them.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think those players, the stars, if they were playing under Joe Mazzulla, this goes to Chuck's question in our chat, would you trade a first round pick for Joe Mazzulla? If they were playing under Joe Mazzulla, do you think they would be more consistent?
Yes. Because Joe Mazzulla, if you're not hustling on defense and shooting the ball when you're open, you get an open shot and you get a good look. If you're not even shooting those, like, he's gonna take off the court and you're not gonna play.
Correct. And I just mentioned 2 teams, the Spurs and the Celtics, but I could go down the line
And this,
with about 8 more teams and
the
say that
Celtics-
our players would play better in their organizations.
and with the Celtics, you can't even use that excuse that you like to use for the Spurs, Dad. Like, when's the last time the Celtics had a good pick? Like, they get all those guys from like second round of the draft and like undrafted guys, and they get them to buy into their philosophy of a team, and they play better than they expected.
I don't hate Nick Nurse.
I'm not blaming Nick Nurse. Like, I just feel like for as long as I've been watching the Sixers, like, people come to the Sixers and they like forget how to play basketball.
They forget how to play.
Danny Green comes to the Sixers and he can't shoot anymore.
Yeah.
Caleb
It's
Martin,
something-
Caleb Martin,
something
comes to
in the water.
Sixers. He has that one good game against Boston that one time on Christmas. And like that's the last time. That was the only time I ever did anything for us.
Yeah, that was a weird stretch, the Caleb Martin experiment.
And then we traded him. That was a good move by Morey. I will give him that. He traded Martin for Grimes, and Grimes averages like 24 a game like at the end of the year, and then now he forgets how to play basketball too. Did he even score in the last 2 games? He did. I think he had 0 points a game we won.
And one, yeah, he didn't score that game.
Did he score yesterday? Or when he played the Spurs?
I don't know. I don't know.
If I don't know where to begin as I'm listening to you guys, and no, I'm hearing an echo. Just pause yourself for a second. I'm not pause, but just mute yourself. This love affair with the Spurs, the Hornets,
Who
Detroit.
loves the Hornets? Who loves the Hornets?
This love affair with them.
From who?
Just I listen to. I don't know if you listen to
Oh.
NBA radio. Like, do you
Oh,
listen to
no.
them? No.
Every now and
I
then,
listen every
it's Eddie Johnson's on there, right? Sometimes when
I listen to the morning. I listen
catch
to
Eddie Johnson.
Scalabrine and Frank Isola
okay.
in the morning.
Oh, okay.
I can't stand Brian Scalabrine, so I don't listen.
Yeah,
Troy's talking about like this. I don't know what words you use. Like this culture they have. Troy, these teams haven't made the playoffs for like years. Where was the culture for the Spurs like last year when they were like losing? Now all of a sudden they have
But
this,
Chuck,
the same
Chuck, did
coach
you
is
watch-
all of a sudden like this mastermind.
No. Chuck, did you
Of-
watch the Spurs last year? Did you watch any Spurs games last year?
Not a ton. Anytime Wemby
If
was
you
on, I know
did,
he got hurt early.
If you did, when Wemby got hurt, and they played the exact same way when Wemby was on the floor.
Troy, they had the second pick in the draft. They didn't make the playoffs.
They did that literally in the game that we just played against them. Wemby
Say again?
didn't play-
Chuck,
Wemby
what are you
didn't
what are
play
you,
the
what are you
whole
talking
second
about? They had a second pick in the draft. It doesn't matter who was on the floor. They played the same way. Every player that got playing time played the same way. It's the reason why. Listen, it's the reason why I picked the Spurs to win in the beginning of the year because I watched them play. I watched them play
You never
without
picked.
Wemby.
You picked Wemby to win MVP. I don't remember you like picking the Spurs to win the.
Kobe, did I pick the Spurs to win? Thank you, Noah. Thank you. I picked the Spurs to win.
You're
Anyway.
muted, Kobe.
Yeah, I think he did.
All right.
I'm pretty
So
sure.
the
he-
reason why I picked
I'm gonna scour the tapes.
the archives.
Please do it.
We still have
The reason why I picked them to win was because I watched them play. I watched them play without Wemby, and I watched how that coach coached them and how they responded. And I just figured, listen,
they
if Wemby
responded
comes
with
back,
losses.
but no,
They were
Chuck,
losing. That was the response.
what was their record last year?
I have no idea. They didn't make the playoffs. Like I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Regardless
Like,
of whether they
and not
won,
only that, they
whether,
didn't make it last year, the year before
Chuck.
that, the year before that, the year before that.
Chuck, regardless of whether they won or lost, they played a certain way that you knew was going to lead to winning eventually, especially if Wemby is going to come back and play 70 games. It was a no-brainer. A no-brainer.
Dad, can you tell me?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what?
So
the
you're
Sixers
saying
are-
the best,
Can you,
the go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
can you tell me what the Sixers like identity is? Like, what are we good at?
No, let me. I'll get to this. It has nothing to do with this. It's just I can't stand this when people talk about
Culture.
like the culture of the Spurs and the freaking Detroit. They lost
I don't-
forever and got good
I
players.
didn't mention losing the. I was talking about the Boston Celtics.
I
the
don't
team
want
that-
to hear it
team-
about the Spurs. Like they are like
Oh my god, no, I'm not talking about
they
the Spurs.
they took advantage of the system. I'll give them that. They got good players. I don't hear about this great coach who didn't get to the playoffs last year, or the year before that, or the year before that, or the year before that. I don't want to hear it. All of a sudden, Wemby is grown into this monster, and they're a really good team. Castle's great. Like they have talented players that have matured into like really good players. I'll give them that. But I don't hear about like this. Like I think you could put a number of coaches in that spot, and they would do this. That Spurs would have the same record.
Oh, okay, I forget the coach. But again, if you take the Sixers players and put them in the Spurs organization, if you put them in Miami Heat's organization, the Boston Celtics organization, would they play better? Would you see a different version? Would you see a different version of the players that we have on our team? Yes or no?
If you're asking if you took this, you swapped franchises and Embiid missed this many games and Paul George got suspended 25 games, would the Sixers be 7 games over 500 or 6 games, whatever they are, over 500? I don't know.
I'm just asking talent-wise. I'm just
Dad,
Grimes. Be honest with you, if Embiid played for the Miami Heat, he's not missing 70 games. He's not. Pat Riley's not letting him miss 70 games. He would have been in better shape.
Okay.
Right? This goes back to
You might be right. You might be right about that. But this is
That's-
this is. I don't think that's a Nurse issue, because Embiid's been like way for every coach he's ever been with. So maybe
that's not a nurse.
maybe
Nurse has nothing to do with Embiid. Nurse has nothing to do with Embiid. Nurse has everything to do with how Grimes and VJ and Oubre and Justin Edwards and Jared McCain and go down the line. He has everything to do with how they play on the floor. You're right in saying that. I don't agree. When you say coaches don't matter, I know what you mean. Your best players are going to take you as far as you're going to go.
do you like?
But
do you like-
coaches matter. Coaches matter for the players who aren't great. You got to
think
put
there's
them
a-
in a system. You got to put them in a system that takes advantage, or you have to learn how to take advantage of whatever talents that they can give you. Nurse, you can't tell me that Nurse has gotten the most out of Grimes and Oubre or any of our role players. He has not gotten the most out of any of them.
I think I won't disagree with that. I think there's a small percentage of coaches that could get more out of this team than Nurse. I think Joe Mazzulla is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think. And when I mean coaches don't matter, obviously I couldn't coach the Sixers. They would be the worst team in the history of basketball if I coached the Sixers.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you like Mike Malone? Do you think he's a good coach?
I don't. I'm not a fan of his. I'm
Okay.
not.
Do you think Doc Rivers?
Do I think he's a good coach? Yeah, he's a good coach. I'm just not a fan of his style, and
Okay.
that's. Listen, I may change my tune, and if you ask me this time in December or January.
Well, you're not a fan. You're not a fan. You're not a fan of. No one's a fan of.
But
Doc.
he's coaching my team now. So
Okay.
I may change my tune.
Okay. But you're not a fan. You're not a fan of Glenn Rivers. You're not a fan of Nick Nurse. These are coaches, and again, I'm not huge fans of them either.
Mm-hmm.
But these are coaches with championships. And
Mm-hmm.
if we don't think they're good coaches, that means like they could probably have been replaced and someone else could do the same thing that they were doing. They could have won a championship with that Boston Celtics team that Doc had.
I
could've
truly
won it.
believe. I truly believe that Boston Celtics team won despite of Doc Rivers, not because of him.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Rondo, to me, Rondo was the reason why they won.
No, you have
He's-
something to
he's
say.
one of the most intelligent players I've ever seen, and he commanded that team. And to the point where it's like, yeah, forget what Doc Rivers is saying. We're going to run this play.
I know it has its hand raised. I just want to say I don't know how many coaches would have gotten this many wins out of the Sixers. And again, I don't care about Nick Nurse. He can go. I think Joe Mazzulla would have gotten the Sixers a few more wins and their losses would have looked better.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the exceptions. I like Houston's coach. I can't name, like, out of the other 29 coaches, I can't really name another coach that would have gotten more than this many wins out the Sixers with Embiid missing that many games, with the suspension of PG. Maxey got hurt at one point. Like,
Even
I don't know, like, who, like, if Embiid would have played 30 more games, Sixers have 43 wins. How many wins would they have had if he played 30 more games this year? Like, I don't know, like, what coach would have, like, done any better. Mazzulla, yeah. There's like a handful of coaches. So that's what I mean when I don't think coaches matter as much. There's a small percentage that move the needle a little bit, but at the end of the day, Embiid is not 100. He's not like playing like 60 games. The Sixers are in trouble.
Do you think the Chicago Bulls win 6 championships with Doug Collins as coach?
That's a great point.
I don't
What I
think they
will
win one.
I don't think they will either. But here's the deal, Troy. Everyone, like, I would say Chicago's a legacy franchise, but if you really look at them, they have done nothing before or after Jordan.
Or since. I don't consider them a legacy franchise. I don't.
I think just
Legacy
like, you
franchises
still
to
see-
me are the Lakers, Celtics, maybe
Maybe
the
the Knicks.
Spurs.
You don't think the Knicks?
No, not even close.
Well, they're one of the
There's
originals.
three.
That's why.
No.
Well, you're probably right. I guess
when
still see, like,
I think
people
about
with-
legacy, I'm talking about winning. I think about winning,
Okay.
not just.
Well, I guess I still see like Jordan jerseys
But I hear
and
what you're
Pippen
saying.
jerseys and stuff
Right.
like that. Like, but you're right. Like, they have done nothing before. So, would Dougie C at the helm? No, I don't think they would have won.
Yeah.
I love Doug Collins.
They would have won.
as a
But
Sixers coach.
I think a lot of coaches
Did you wait? Did
could
you
have
hear what
coached Michael
Kobe just
Jordan and
said?
Scottie Pippen to a championship.
That was my
Would you
favorite
agree with
Sixers
that?
team growing up.
A lot of coaches. I don't
a lot
think
of coaches could have coached Pippen and Jordan to a championship. One?
I don't think
maybe
so.
not 6, maybe 1.
I don't know. Maybe, but like kind of like I guess that's kind of like I guess like Ty Lue coaching the Cleveland Cavaliers to a championship, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess. But to
And
me,
you-
like
and you
Phil
talk about-
Jackson was he just had the right temperament. I don't think any coach gets 6 rings out of that Bulls team. I don't care who was on it.
I agree with that. I'll give you that.
Because you had to have, as a coach, you had to have the right temperament, and you had to know how to deal with personalities more than being an X's and O's coach.
Okay, I agree with that. I will say that Ty Lue, Eric Spoelstra, have they won a championship without LeBron? No.
No.
Frank Vogel, has he won a championship without LeBron?
Eric Spoelstra is like renowned.
So, I mean, I think the players matter. But I do see your point, Troy. I think we can agree we both have a little, even though we're on opposite end of the spectrums, I see your point. I hope you see my point.
I do.
The Sixers-
I do.
Nick Nurse would
I've always
be-
seen your
he
point.
would
I
get
just
more
give you shit.
He would be looked at differently if Embiid played more. That's all I'm saying.
Who,
No, I'm
Nurse?
sorry. Nurse. He would have a little bit more grace by the fans. And here's the other thing is, our last podcast, we talked about the schedule. And I remember, Troy, again, I'm begging you guys, listen to the podcast that was over. Troy, we went over the schedule. You were like, Minnesota win. Detroit lost. San Antonio lost. Houston lost. Then win-win. Like the Sixers are doing exactly what you thought they would do, and now everyone's shocked.
I'm not shocked.
Well, people are like, now, like, it just feels like it's different energy. Oh, they're going to be in the play-on. They're going to do this and this. Like, we were talking more about them getting the 6th seed, even though we knew they were going to walk into some of these losses. Now, the losses didn't look great. They look terrible. But we had a feeling they were going to lose these games. So, I don't know. I just want the energy to get back. If they have a chance to get the 6th seed, they really need to win tomorrow night. Don't win tomorrow night, it's gonna be tough. They're in a playoff playing. It is what it is.
And Toronto has a tiebreaker over us.
No, we have a
Oh, we have
tiebreaker over them.
We
We can tie them.
yeah. Tomorrow's key. They got to win tomorrow.
They have to win tomorrow.
They have to win
Miami,
tomorrow.
Miami needs that. Yeah, Miami needs the game just as much as Toronto, so
Yeah, I agree.
they could easily
So,
lose
no, what were
two
we
of their
saying now?
last 3.
I don't remember.
I hate
He's
when-
pissed. He's pissed right now.
I can
Well,
barely
when
hear
Noah,
It was like
When-
10 minutes ago.
when Noah remembers, we'll kick it off. We'll kick it to him first on the next episode, so he could bring up that point. But wanted to wrap it up. You guys don't have anything more?
I have one more thing to say, and I don't know where
Where's
Drew
Drew?
went.
We're not doing Drew's.
I don't know. We didn't do the Drew thing. I felt bad for Drew. The Troy. You guys. We can start with Noah. What's your take? If you say you don't know what to talk about, I'm gonna lose it. The Embiid Morey thing, like that happened last week with the Embiid missing film sessions, shoot around. They list him out for the game. He gets mad, calls out Morey on in the interview. Who's right? Who's wrong? Do you have any thoughts on it?
He missed film session and shoot around?
Yes.
Yeah, he shouldn't play.
I heard he missed that to see his trainer or something.
What?
I heard he missed the film session because he was meeting with the trainer or something to get ready for the game or something like that. That's what I heard. Anyways, I don't know. I
I
kind
can't
of
hear you
always felt a little bit like it was less about Embiid not wanting to play and more about the Sixers being careful with him. And I said it a couple times I thought he should be playing in that back-to-back game just because how important wins are right now for us and with this whole playing thing. So I was kind of bummed out he didn't play, but I don't know.
Who do you
I
put the
don't- I
blame
don't-
on for that?
Who, me?
I
No,
don't know, I feel
no. Who do you? Why do you think he played back to back?
I don't know, but I can't say it's he hasn't played in the back-to-back all year. I can't be it's Embiid's fault because he didn't come to this film session. He hasn't done it all year, so I couldn't expect the Sixers to be are we even sure the Sixers were gonna let him play anyways? Even if he do that, he hasn't done it all year. I wanted him to. Play.
That's why I was a little thrown off by it, too.
I don't know.
I also don't take anything that he tweets seriously. Anything that he says on Twitter, I don't take seriously.
What do you mean?
Because he tweeted that I guess I can't play basketball or whatever.
No, wait. Mute your mic. Go ahead.
He tweeted that, oh, I guess I can't play basketball or whatever, and that's why people started talking about it. But it could have been
Well, he tweeted that because he found out that he wasn't playing through social media. The Sixers organization did not tell him that he wasn't playing. He found out through Twitter.
Okay.
That was his beef. That was his beef. Listen,
They
I
had
think
to.
I think they're both in the wrong. Like Embiid, listen, he's 30 years old. Sometimes he acts like he's 30 minus 12. Like he's very immature sometimes. And I think when if you're sick and you're not going to miss shoot around, and you know this at 3 o'clock in the morning or whenever he realized it, it doesn't take much to just pick up the phone and text whoever you need to text. I don't feel well. I'm not going to make the film session. I'm not going to make shoot around. Hopefully, I'll be ready to play when it's game time. And the Sixers can take a whole different uh, avenue to tweet out, right? So that's on him. For their part, the Sixers, before you send anything out, tell the guy, hey, listen, we haven't heard from you in 8 hours. We don't know what's going on. We're going to rule you out today. They didn't do that. So they're both in the wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah. Troy, I'm glad we're on the same page with this. I thought maybe we might have a push and pull. I think they're both on the wrong as well. I know I get on you guys about like this whole culture thing. I think a lot of times why the Celtics, for example, I'll give them credit about culture. I'm not giving the freaking Spurs about culture at all. It's because you have Tatum and Brown and White who are super professional. They work hard. They play defense. They hold themselves accountable. They're hungry. Our best player, he's not that. He's a great player. He's probably the most talented Sixer I've ever seen. But he just is not. He doesn't take responsibility for his actions a lot of times. And I think that kind of wears on the team, the front office. Now, again, I think, Troy, I agree with you. I think the front office was probably fed up, and they probably didn't communicate to him like they probably should have. They could probably handle it a lot better. But I wish Embiid was just more of a leader. I think the culture that you guys are looking for on this team, I think it would be there if he was leading that attitude, and he just doesn't. And I love Maxey. It's just really hard, dude. You have to be like Isaiah Thomas crazy. I'm talking about the original Isaiah Thomas crazy to be a small guard and also like lead a team in that way. Plus, and you have this big personality on your team already. It's just hard. I wish if Maxey was probably like Cade Cunningham size, I think he would have a bigger impact not only on the team on the court, but also probably as a leader. But he's just not that, and we have this huge personality at center that's just, to me, his actions is our personality, is the Sixers' personality.
Now, do you
And I don't think
blame?
it's out there.
We've talked about this before. I think I've asked you this before. Maybe it wasn't on a
By the
pod,
way,
but
Noah
do
has
you-
his hand up. I don't want to hold that
Okay,
thought.
go ahead, Noah.
Every time we go back to you.
No, go,
Corey,
go. Say it now.
Like, Dad, you keep talking about like.
I knew I talked about Embiid, you're going to come
I'm
at
not
me.
even about to talk about it.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Anyways, like you keep talking about this culture thing. Like I wasn't just talking about the culture, and that's why the Sixers aren't gonna like do anything. We do not have. My main point is we don't have enough good players on the Sixers. Like Kelly Oubre, I love Kelly Oubre, but he is the most inconsistent and probably the lowest IQ player in the NBA. So is Adembona. They're both like on that level. Like
The Kelly
those are the
one.
guys. Those are like the first guys coming off the bench. Like that's what would be the first guy coming off the bench for us in the playoffs. Like
Kelly start.
Even better.
Quentin Grimes, he's not much smarter than them. And he's and
Dude,
you keep
look,
talking
when you-
about
when
him,
you see-
like he's
listen.
he's a good defender. Like he's not a good defender. Like,
Noah. Noah,
He's just
next
like
time, I really want you to pay attention. The next time that Bona, Grimes, and Kelly's on the floor together, I want you to tell me
it's
how
like,
many times you stifled a laugh.
you know, like the
from their
coconut
actions.
sound. You know, like the coconut sound, like that they use in the cartoons, like when someone
You-
gets hit in the head. Like that's
No.
like the bomb.
No.
That's what I hear like whenever I see them all on the court.
I'm gonna.
When the
I'm
ball
gonna
is
mute
bouncing off
Noah,
the
'cause
rim,
we're-
like bouncing off everyone's hand, like we can't grab a rebound and this goes to the other team. That's all I hear.
I'm gonna mute no only because we're echoing. You guys were not saying this against when we played Minnesota and Kelly went off. He was the player of the game. His last 2 games haven't been great, but it's not his job to like every game. He's making the league
No.
minimum.
Right, Chuck, I agree. It's not his job to score 20 points. I don't expect Kelly Oubre to score 20 points a game.
He gives you
I
effort
just-
every game. He's not consistent.
That I don't agree with, because I watch him on defense, and he's a revolving door. He lets anybody off the dribble get by him on dribble.
It's not his best. He's not having his best moment right now. So I won't disagree with that. But again, I'm not
I
blaming
don't
Boston
expect.
on it.
I don't expect him to give me 20 points a game. But by this time, I expect him to know what he does best and what he doesn't do well, and just go with that. But he seems to, you know what it is? Him, Payne, Grimes, they think they're better than what they really are, and I think that's where the low IQ comes in. I honestly believe that.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. I'm going to say this. When they play Houston tomorrow, and then Friday morning, you're blaming campaign for the loss, I'm going to throw my phone out the window.
I
If
will
they're going to
never
win
blame
or lose that game, it's because of Maxey, Embiid, Paul George, VJ.
George, and VJ. Correct.
Win or lose, those are 4 players that are going to determine if they win or lose that game. I don't want to hear about Kelly Oubre didn't do this.
But Chuck, that's part when he does boneheaded stuff, and Grimes is doing boneheaded stuff also. And then the campaign comes in and thinks he's on a heater, and he's over 8, right? And Bona, like you throw Bona a lob pass, and it's going right through his fingers.
Yeah.
Like that stuff doesn't help winning. Like I just want you to do what your role is. You don't have to do any more, but you can't do less.
Okay.
Give me
That's
if you're a
different.
role
That's
player, give me your role.
Got it. Listen, before we get off, I want to know, like, Troy, like, what did you think about, like, what I said about, like, Embiid leading what we want culture-wise on the team?
Right. So I think we talked about this before, and I always go back to when Embiid was a rookie and Ben Simmons was a rookie, and we had no veteran presence to teach them how to be professionals. And I think it's rearing its head right now. And Embiid is not a leader. He's not a good leader.
On the bench.
It's too late. It's too late. Embiid is not. I would not consider him a good leader. He doesn't even lead well by example, right? So I think a part of that is because he had no one to look up to, no one that could just show him the ropes on. Listen, dude, you're the man. You got to conduct yourself this way. You shouldn't be on stage drinking Shirley Temples at some rap concert and doing dances, right? Like, that's stupid. Cut it out. It shouldn't be the Sixers organization coming down and saying you can't do this. It should be someone on that bench next to him in his ear every day. And that's not what he got.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Barkley, and it just goes back to Barkley and Moses Malone, right?
Yeah.
Like Embiid didn't have his Moses Malone, and he needed
that's
that.
true. I'll push back a little about the whole Miami. If Embiid played with Miami, he'd be in shape. Maybe, but I would agree if he came out with Miami, they would hold him accountable from day one. Being on time, being in shape.
Yep.
If he got traded to Miami right now, he is who he is. I don't think he's
Right.
that.
It's done.
But I think if he came up with Miami, he would.
He'd be a different player. He'd be a different player.
He'd be a better leader.
A better player. Yeah.
Because even, you know, Haslam would have been on that team probably, like a vet. He didn't
If
play
he
much.
played
but
for Miami, he would have won at least 3 MVPs by now. If he was in Miami, at least 3 MVPs.
yeah. But Troy, to your point, like he's in his 30s now, dude. Keep yourself in shape. I mean, you guys saw like it took him a while to get into that Minnesota game. He was kind of lumbering. I was like, oh, it's one of these games. Even like the Spurs game, he like got hurt. He's so theatrical. I'm not saying he's not hurt, but like if he's hurt, he wants everyone to know he's hurt.
Correct.
I mean, just play.
And he still had 20 at halftime. Like it's
he's
amazing.
still
He's so talented. So talented.
But a leader, he is not, and it's hard.
No.
I feel bad for Maxey. It's hard to be the leader of the team when you got Embiid on the squad. Physically he's big. He dominates games. He dominates the internet. Is this hard for Maxey to be a leader? I thought maybe this could have been the year, but he's not. I think if that's that's culture to me, and like Maxey's personality, his work ethic,
Right.
his that should be like our personality, but it's just not because Embiid is.
It's not because of Embiid.
He has so much gravity.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's
point.
true.
That's a good point. We'll see how much gravity of Joel Embiid can carry the Sixers in the playoffs this year or in the play-in. That's as far as they get, but we will find out. We're going to recap the games tomorrow and Friday and Sunday and continue to talk about Major League Baseball, NBA. Got to get the Flyers in on the rundown for the next episode. They've been balling. And I saw that WIP tweeted, anybody's welcome on the bandwagon for the Flyers. So we're in luck, boys, because we have not watched the lick of Philadelphia Flyers hockey. So we will be on that
I watch him a
bandwagon.
little bit.
Oh, you have?
I
I will be on that bandwagon moving forward. Till then, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us on social media. Let us know what you think. Give us some ideas. Stay tuned for more fitness content as well. Planning to have on the studio manager of F45 Branchburg pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. And talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.
Take it easy, fellas.
Bye, guys.